right, people. It's the time of the week. It's that time of the week, right? Your favorite moment with your favorite host, with your favorite podcast, day and night conversations, where we keep on talking day and night and day and night and day and night. We don't stop. No, okay. Can't rap for nothing. It's your best host, Claudel Comedy. Follow me at Claudel Comedy on Instagram and pretty much everywhere. With the very beautiful Mellow Mel. I'm going to mess up your name, watch. The very beautiful Mellow Mel.
It's me.
It's her. And we are with...
oh, you can't remember my name now. Try to be rude.
Auntie Day.
Uh-huh.
How you doing? I mean, you could answer the question.
No,
why you got to let people know that you can bust my ass? It should be our secret. People don't need to know that you can beat me. Damn. Jesus.
That's okay, Claudel. I'm still loving you. So
Thank you. And you know what? You know what's even better than that? Mm-hmm. Today, our guest. I mean, I am so excited for our guest today because this is my man, right? He has the best name ever. Please, people, make some noise for the very successful entrepreneur. Yeah, you would have wished for that, right? Even better than that, it's Wayne, the Candyman, Candlish.
Whoa. Thank you very much, Claudel. Thank you very much.
You saw the entrance?
Yeah, I'm loving that. I'm loving it. Here we go.
That's a man with experience. So Wayne, how you doing today, man?
I'm good.
By the way, thank you for taking your time and coming here to talk with us today.
Thank you.
We talk all the time because that's what we do. Day
and night.
Oh, okay, so see, he gets it.
I'm feeling it. I'm there.
That's my man. Good. So, Wayne, I've heard that you were actually an entrepreneur for more than 20 years.
Yep. Can you believe it?
I mean, I can't see it on your face.
I can't even believe it.
I can't see it on your face, man.
I
just
know.
can't see it.
Thank
you. You look 20, man. What are you saying?
You know, Claudel, I always liked you, huh?
You're just saying that. You're just saying that. Favorite host, best podcast. You know how we do. So tell me, how does all these businesses and everything? First of all,
what is it that you do?
Exactly. How did you start?
Well, you guys are putting it on thick right now at the beginning, huh?
Yeah, that's how we do.
How did I start? What? Being an entrepreneur, getting into business?
Being an entrepreneur.
I want to know everything.
Yeah.
So you can start with whatever you want.
And how much time we got?
You can take
just roll with it.
Just go with it. Just go with it.
Well, we'll get to the skinny. The short story is basically I always wanted to be an entrepreneur because that's ultimate freedom.
Amen.
Right?
Amen to that.
There's no other better job security than making your own money.
Exactly. Not having nobody telling you what time you got to be up in the morning.
Exactly. And if you want to go all the way back, let's look at biblical times.
Mm-hmm.
God said, what did he say? You can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, but you can teach a man to fish and feed him for life.
Mm-hmm. Amen
so
to
if
that.
you know how to make your own money, you're feeding yourself for life.
Amen to that.
Right?
Yeah.
And now, for what I'm doing now, Wazoo, how this came about is
Wait, time out. Right before we get
Wazoo?
into Wazoo, what is this? Because
he's already stopping me, folks.
no,
all right, let's
have
go.
no idea. Time out. You gotta let us know.
You're going to get used to this.
What is this Wazoo thingy that you're telling me about? What Wazoo?
Wazoo?
Yeah. What's Wazoo?
Well, Wazoo, what it is, is what a zoo.
What a
What
zoo.
a zoo. What could I be talking about?
Is this actually how you came up with the name?
Relations.
You're lying.
What a zoo. And the one thing it's a really big zoo is online dating.
It's more than I thought, man. I was like, okay, human relation. Oh, okay,
He
dating.
said zoo and made a tiger sound. Did you guys saw
You got that, huh? You like that?
I see you.
All right, I know, you're quick. You got that.
So, right. So, basically, Wazoo is a dating app, website.
What it is, it's a dating tool. Because right now, a lot of people, we all know, are on Tinder, Grindr, if you go that way, Bumble. But what people don't realize, in North America, there's 2,000 dating apps. Over 2,000. And everyone's on about 3 or 4.
4, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Not me.
And out of those 2,000, let's say maybe 800 of them have well over 1 million people on them. Because what people don't understand with online dating is like gambling.
So I understand that.
Because when you go to the casino,
you've been losing a lot,
right? And you're a gambler and an addict, you're addicted to it. You always think that next card is your winning hand and you're the millionaire. With online dating, if you're on Tinder or whatever site you're on and it's not working for you, and I go to you, check out this site. Chances are 9 out of 10, they're going to go on that site because they think their love is on that site I'm talking about. And this is why a lot of people are on more than one site. And what's happening now, it's called dating fatigue, where people are getting tired of swiping. People are getting tired of being on these sites.
I saw like a bunch of videos online where like people would put like machines.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's a real
right.
It's a real thing.
Keep it right. You don't even look at the pictures anymore. People, damn, Wayne, people are hungry.
Hungry.
Oh.
So what we did, and a lot of them are on the wrong sites to begin with. So they're looking for a Ferrari and a Honda dealership. What we do is we show them where the Ferrari dealerships are.
Okay.
So when you go on our site, whether you're tired of Tinder or whatever site you're on, you go on ours, you answer a couple of questions, and we show you a list of the best dating sites for what you're looking for.
Okay.
So in less than 30 seconds, you're an online dating pro.
So basically, that would go with what you mentioned in an interview before. It's the Trivago of online dating.
Yes, exactly. But we go one step further.
Oh, don't stop. Please.
Because it gets sexy. It gets sexy.
I don't find it.
You won't find it. You have to go. Well, I can tell her.
Please, you have to tell
Yeah,
everyone.
tell me.
You go datewithwazoo.com.
Oh, okay.
And then
Hold on, I'm
Datewithwazoo.com.
getting.
Datewithwazoo.com. And then what we do is people can sign up for free. And when you sign up, it becomes your virtual wingman. What I mean by that is once you sign up, even if you don't go back to our site knows what other people around you are searching for. So as soon as you sign up and add your picture, that's your profile. You don't have to worry about filling out questions or anything. And say you don't go back to our site will keep sending you match suggestions.
Okay.
So you can have Wazoo in the background while you're on another dating site, keep sending you people, hey, this person's close by, interested in the
Maybe
same
it's
thing
worth
as you.
it.
Now, when you match with someone else, one person pays 99 cents to open communication. Not both, only one. And women love this concept.
No shit.
Why
Because-
women? Why would you
Because
say
one
women?
person
Well,
is paying.
Exactly. I say, if the guy's not willing to pay 99 cents to talk to you, he ain't going to buy you dinner.
Go to yeah.
Ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen. So
tells you
Wazoo gets rid of the cheapos one time,
Yeah. Exactly.
right? And on top of that, it empowers them too, because some women say, I feel empowered. Now I'll pay to talk to the person I'm interested in. And now for guys, you look at the flip side. Imagine a guy sees this woman, he's like, oh my God, for sure I'm going to open communication. So he goes to pay the 99 cents, and all of a sudden he realizes that the woman
It's
opened
another
it.
guy. Oh.
Well,
I mean,
that too. Yeah, I can have it too. I know. But what does that tell him? It tells him the woman's really interested.
Yeah,
There's
for
no
sure.
dating app out there that does that.
No, but that is really like simple. Like
Yeah.
it's
Wazoo.
Yeah. Wazoo.
So from what I understand, like your site doesn't just work as a dating site, but it also works like as a social site. Like in
Absolutely.
the sense, like okay, so let's say I was going to let's say I was going to Oshiaga or something like that.
Yep.
I would be able to log into your site, and
Yep.
then let's say there was guys that I had interest in. I would find out if they were going to Oshiaga also, and we can meet up there, right?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Because if you go to Oshiaga and you do a search, it'll show you people inside the Wazoo network searching for the same thing, and you can match. But the powerful thing about Wazoo that people don't understand is that right now in dating, there's no Google or Google-like app for dating.
Okay.
So when you're on Tinder, for example,
Yeah.
you are only matched with people inside the Tinder network. When you're on Match, you're only matched with people
on
inside
Match.
that network.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But what we're doing is we're getting all these people that are tired of Tinder, tired of Match, tired of OkCupid, blah, 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 and they're all logging in and signing up to Wazoo. So now, if you're on Tinder, for example, and you use Wazoo as a background, while you have all those Tinder people that you're matching with, Wazoo is matching you also with people that were tired from OkCupid, Match. So now it's
So you
broadening.
you get a bigger field.
bigger
like,
pool.
Exactly.
You get a bigger pool.
And that's why we say with Wazoo, dating starts here.
okay. Just for my understanding, I have to be on all those other platforms if I want my Wazoo account match with
No,
them.
not at
No.
all.
So you could
So
just do
if
it
I'm
with
not
one
with
Wazoo
all
account.
those things, I am on Wazoo. and Wazoo's going to search in those other platform, and
No. Well, it's not going to search the other platforms, but the people from the other platforms will sign up to Wazoo because they're tired of it. Like, here's a great
They're not getting
example.
the results they want.
Exactly.
On the other ones.
A great example is, imagine you have this woman on Match. Okay, she would never go on Tinder because she thinks it's a hookup. So she's looking for a serious relationship.
When you
on
say
Match.
a hookup, what's a hookup?
Means get down, baby.
Yeah, like
He
you know,
even said it with the baby
You know,
thing.
Like you guys are not having destination wedding in 18 months.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
no,
it's
exactly.
just, okay.
it's just like an
So-
18-hour thing, 18 hours thing. Yeah.
So she's on Match, and then she's not finding the person, right? She's looking for a serious relationship. Then you have this guy who knows nothing about online dating, but all his friends are on Tinder. He says, okay, let me try it out. I'm trying to find a serious relationship. He's not having a good time. So then he sees this ad for Wazoo saying, oh, let me sign up. Let me see what other sites are good for what I'm looking for. The girl sees this ad for Wazoo. She says, let me sign up. Let me see what other sites are good for what I'm looking for. Wazoo sees both these people are close by, searching for the same thing, shoots up a match suggestion. Now, these two people
They
would have
found-
never
yeah,
met.
because one is
Yeah,
on
I
Tinder
understand.
and the other one is
Exactly.
on
So Wazoo bridges the gap that's
Between all
missing
these
between
apps.
everybody.
So Wazoo, it's the app for me then.
That's
because
it.
I'm not on all those things. I just open the thing
And
like,
then
and I
you're
can just
everywhere.
Yep.
yeah, I'm everywhere, but I
At
just
just
go
being
once
once,
to
yeah.
see what is it, and I'm said like, you know, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you're saying that Wazoo's the thing, maybe
That's
I'm,
it.
Mhm.
And imagine, even if you don't want to swipe or you're tired of online dating, you just have to sit there, be in the office, do whatever you're doing, and Wazoo will keep
Yeah, it
sending you
keeps
match
doing the job
suggestions.
for you. You don't
You'll
have
be
to
like,
keep
oh,
swiping right.
okay. And
It's
then
like magic.
that's it. And then when there's a match, you just wait for the guy to pay. And if he doesn't pay, I had one person actually go to me, and it was a guy. He goes, okay, but I have a question for you. What if the guy and the girl don't
Yeah.
want to pay?
They both
That's
don't want to pay.
too bad.
I go,
that
do
tells
you just,
everything.
did you listen to what you just told me? You're telling me, what if a guy and a girl don't want to pay 99 cents to talk to each other? What does that tell you?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a match there, buddy.
Pretty sure it means you guys don't want to talk to each other.
That's it, man.
I mean, you can't even buy gum to freshen your breath for 99 cents.
It's crazy.
So,
That is
and,
crazy.
and so far, the feedback we're getting on this is incredible.
Okay, so from what I understand is like you have been an entrepreneur for years.
Years.
But not necessarily in the dating scene.
No.
Chill.
So what was it that made you go towards the dating
Well,
scene?
here, I'll give you the history of Wazoo.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay?
I love this.
So, one thing as an entrepreneur, you have to be able to pivot, right?
What do you mean by pivot?
Like, you start with an idea one place, but there's no chance, it's not,
It's not a
Otherwise,
clear
it's-
path.
there's not a clear
Exactly.
path.
Yes, I get
exactly.
it.
Trial and error. It's a
Yeah.
lot of trial and
Okay.
error.
So, the history of Wazoo. Wazoo started off, its first name was called Out Solo.
Out solo.
Out Solo. That was the first name.
It's so sad. It's
and
so
then,
sad.
and then my girlfriend Clarissa said, okay, wait, first of all, that sounds gay. It sounds like you're just targeting one group there. I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but I said I want to target a broad group,
Legit.
right? And power out to the gays for Pride Week in Montreal this week.
Shout out.
All right,
Shout
big
out.
shout out, big shout out. So then I said, no, I don't want to just target one group. I want to be broad. So then she said, why don't you call it Solo? Solo was the second name.
Oh.
So I redid the graphics, the interface for Solo. Then we asked a couple of people, and they said, I'm not going to sign up to Solo. It sounds like I'm desperate. I want to commit suicide.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it
the-
does.
it's-
What's this,
it's
Solo?
Kinda, yeah.
It's like, why don't you just kill me?
It's
So I
either
said,
that or Star Wars.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, maybe this isn't going to work out. This Solo, Han Solo, I'd have to get a Chewie Chewbacca, and it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
So then we came out with another one called Wink. So Wink was good, and the claim to fame for Wink was that you can send winks and silly icons to other people to start generating interest and break the ice. So then that one really went far. We integrated voice over IP to be also different. We added a
nice.
messenger.
People could just call each other.
Yeah, anonymously. So-
Anonymously, so you call somebody, but you don't use
You don't,
your actual
yeah, you
cell
don't use
phone
your actual
number.
numbers.
Oh, that's good.
So we
Yeah.
had that.
Yeah, that's,
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
Wink,
love it and all, but
We're all
I'm-
excited about it,
Yeah,
but
but
they-
I'm imagining a few things like a few crazy scenarios, like ladies getting calls
But this
weird.
is why
Yeah,
we
but
don't
it's
want to
anonymous.
give.
But it's
our numbers.
anonymous.
Exactly.
It's anonymous.
But it's anonymous.
Yep.
Imagine getting calls like that.
But you
But
just
you-
block
you
the
still
dude,
get-
like-
you
Yeah,
still
you
get
could
the
delete.
calls
You'd
to
be able
your
to
phone.
delete him, and he can't call you anymore. It's
That's
done.
it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Bye-bye.
That's
Because that'd be
Love
really
that.
weird.
Yeah.
Getting a call and all you hear is like breathing. Like,
But
this dude paid his 99 cents. I'm a breathe in that ear, man.
You want-
you
the
wanna
hell
know,
out of
you
this
wanna
phone
know
call.
a thing? When I used to be working at a gas station, that was happening all the time on my shift. So I mean, you don't need to pay 99 cents.
There you go. That makes sense.
So as you can see, that one has promise, right? It sounds promising, the Wink. So actually, I went to Startup Fest. I was all happy because they had these little tents where you can pitch to investors. So I was standing in line. I'm there with Wink. This was like 3 years ago. And then this woman out of the blue comes up to me. She sees me standing in line and she goes, "So what's your startup?" And I go, "It's Wink. This is what it does, blah, blah, blah." She goes, "Okay, so how are you different from Tinder? Because what you're telling me, I don't see a big difference." And then, I'm so excited. I'm like, "Yeah, but it does this, and that." And then she goes, "Listen," she goes, "watch. This is where you are today. I guarantee you where you end up at the end will be totally different from where you are today."
Which makes sense.
And I said, "Okay, whatever." And then after that, a year later, Wink fell apart because she was right. It really wasn't that different. And then I met someone else and I said, "You know what? We can use the anonymous calling and we can put a twist on it." And then we came up with another app called Flow. So Flow, we had the yeah, but you see, we're pivoting.
Yeah,
we're
nonstop,
pivoting
yeah.
because she said this one wasn't going to work, but I never gave up. I
Right.
said, okay, but maybe if it doesn't work, maybe I can do something else. And then
switch it.
that brought me to the Flow angle. And now Flow is, we had the anonymous calling, but another thing I noticed, especially now, is that everyone with dating apps meets inside the app, right?
Yeah. Logically,
But
yeah.
and some people like online dating because it's safer that way,
Yeah,
right? Because you're meeting inside the app. But what if you can meet someone at a bar and still be anonymous? So we integrated in Flow our own anonymous calling number. So basically, you can meet someone in a bar, they download the app, you give them, you can do it two ways. If they have the Flow app, they can scan your QR code, it automatically adds them in your matches, and now you can message and anonymous them or call them anonymously as if you met them online. Now, if they don't have the app, you can give them your Flow number. They go home, download the app, insert the Flow number, automatically adds them to your matches. You can message an anonymous and call them anonymously. So now you have the safety of online dating in the real world. You can meet anyone anywhere.
Yeah, it's people that you met.
Yeah.
You actually met at
That's
at a
starting to be
place.
interesting.
Yeah. So we developed Flow. Took us about 2 years, 2.5 years. And then after, at the end, we're like, "Oh, frig, this is great. This is awesome. We have everything working." And then I was talking to some people, and they're like, "Yeah, that's great. Okay. But you realize you're going to need about $10 million to get people to use this in marketing and advertising."
Okay.
What
These
the-
were my questions because you mentioned you talked a lot about developing.
Yep.
Are you the one that develops your apps, your websites?
No, I have
and
developers that I
outsource?
hire. Yeah, I outsource.
So you outsource it.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick question. How does that work? How does that world work? Like, let's say I have a crazy idea for this crazy app. I'm gonna tell you after. I'm gonna tell you. It has to do with girls.
Okay.
You're
And
such a
boobs.
liar.
Yeah, I was about to tell that. I'm sure there's
Yes, of
boobs
course, there's boobs.
inside the story.
It's always boobs.
There's money in boobs. I mean,
boobs,
come on.
boobs.
Hey, sex sells. Okay.
So tell me, I have the idea. How does that work? Like, what if I decide to outsource, or I take a course and decide to do it myself? But you said
Well-
something about 10 million.
Yeah.
I can't even say it. 10 million.
Yeah, you need
And
millions.
marketing,
You need millions in
man.
marketing to get people on a dating app. But I could get to that. I'll answer your question for
Yeah,
the
please.
freelance.
Yes.
First of all, you have to be technically savvy. You have to have a knowledge of exactly, at least a basic knowledge of how some of this stuff works
Yeah,
to
a
begin
decent
with.
amount.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you're going to need to guide any freelancer you're working with. Unless you have thousands of dollars or a big budget, in that case, you don't need a freelancer. You just go with a big design firm.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to be the project manager.
Okay.
Now, in order to be the project manager, you have to do two things. One, you have to be able to guide them. And two, if you want it to work well, you have to be able to come up with your own wireframe. basically, when you build a house, who do you see? You see an architect.
Yeah.
The architect makes the plans of the house, right?
Yeah.
And then he gives it to the guy to build the house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what you have to do. You have to make the plans of whatever you're building.
Yeah, it's like a business plan or a business.
Well, more than that. It's like
marketing plan.
It's more technical. Than
The
that.
Yeah, but I
technicals.
mean, you have to have something.
Yeah,
like-
exactly. So then once you have the plan, you basically give it to the guy, and then from there, he starts. And then you have to be on him all the time. Like what I do is I actually build a website of exactly how I want it to work, and I say, go to this link, and he can click right through.
So you like gave him like a
Yeah.
a manual. Like,
Yeah, you have to make it idiot-proof.
kind of.
Yes.
Nice.
And whenever there's a problem, especially with my app, I always take a screenshot. I always put arrows, even if from the slightest change of a text to something complicated. And if it's complicated, then I break down the screens. So I
Okay.
go screen 1, screen 2, screen 3. So he sees the flow and he knows where in the flow to correct it.
Okay.
So it's a constant process, and you have to baby them. Like the cheaper you go,
The
the
more
more
you'll have to
babying
baby.
you have to.
Give it
Yeah.
to-
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's pretty much with everything.
So you started when did your dating app first start? How
About
many
you-
years ago?
Wazoo or
No, just your idea for having
Oh.
a dating app started how long ago?
And why did it start? Why?
6
Yeah.
years ago.
6 years
Why?
ago.
6
And how
years.
do you know that this is going to be it? How do you know? Because like you went from like something to Flow to Wazoo. How do you know Wazoo's going to be it?
How do I know?
How do
He
you know?
doesn't.
Actually, because this is the first and only app, because I also drive Uber, right? So
alright.
Uber is my marketing vehicle, literally.
Yeah,
There
of
you
course.
go.
So in about a year, I've been driving Uber for a year. I have done over 3,000 trips. On
Yeah.
3,000 trips, I've talked to
Yeah.
90% of those people about
About
Wazoo.
Wazoo.
And
Of
out of
course.
those 90% of the people, I would say 95% thought it was a great idea. And I had one friend said, because before I used to say, yeah, this is mine. Usually when you tell someone that this is your idea, they feel bad. So they're not going to give you their true
What do
What
opinion.
do you mean they feel bad? What do you mean?
Because
by
like if I say it's my app,
Yeah.
and
They're
even though
shy
the guy
about- yeah.
doesn't like it, he'll
They'll
say, oh, it's good.
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
They
say
don't
say
wanna
it's
hurt- they
say
don't
it's
wanna
one of
hurt
your
your
friends.
feelings.
Exactly.
Okay.
Say
So
it's one of your friends. Yeah, my friend came up with this app.
exactly. So
Hey, tell me what you guys think
so
about it.
what I've been doing is I've been saying, yeah,
You've been lying to people.
They're
Wayne.
paying me
You've
to
been lying
market
to
it.
people.
It's a
So
Montreal
you act,
startup.
So you act like it's not
Yeah,
yours.
exactly. It's a
Yeah.
Montreal startup, and they're paying me to market it. So I had these two guys in the car once, and they go, "Is this your app?" I go, "No, they're paying me to market it." They go to me, they go, "I hope they're paying you a lot because I'm sure these guys are making a lot of money."
So
I was laughing.
you know it's gonna blow.
Nice.
You know it's
Yeah.
gonna be big.
It was so funny. Then I had these other guys. They looked at it and they go, "Oh shit, this was my idea. Look, someone's doing it." So now I'm getting the true
Wow.
feedback.
So you're getting the confidence
Yeah.
you need. You know that.
Yeah. But one of the best was at 5 in the morning. I'm rolling out of bed. I'm like, oh man, do I go pick this person up? So I roll out of bed. Usually at 5 in the morning, people don't want to talk.
Yeah.
They want to,
Yeah.
most
Just
time, they go to the
get
airport
where you trying
Yeah.
to
and
go.
that's it.
Yeah.
Don't even look at me, just drive and that's it. Perfect. Because at 5 in the morning, I'm not even talking.
Same vibe.
So I pick up this one girl, and let me tell you, man, those lips didn't stop moving.
Oh God, that's
Fri-
5 in the morning.
5 in the morning. So I said,
Jesus.
okay, we're in. I'm ready to go. So then I started talking about Wazoo, and she's like, oh, man, that's such a great idea. I know friends that would love that. She ended up being a reporter for the Laval Suburban.
Wow.
2 days later, she interviewed me. I had a half-page article.
So
In
Wow.
Laval
is that where?
Suburban.
That's I think
The
that's why I
Trivago
took the
of-
Trivago thingy
Yep.
that I
Yeah,
took.
and that was from Uber. That was from Uber.
Well, you do get to meet people.
You
Yeah,
meet
all
all
the
kinds of
time.
Meet
people.
all
Yeah.
kinds of people.
All
C'est comme
kinds.
un étude de société.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And what's also
Easily,
funny
yeah.
is because I can see who signs up, and I've seen people take it, say, sometimes they take it and they're like, oh, great idea or whatever, and they're gonna toss it. Later on, when I go home, I see that they actually signed up because I see them in the.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh
Hey,
my
for the
god,
profile pictures
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
That's dope. That's crazy. But
So-
why dating though? Why an app for
You know why?
dating?
Because dating is recession proof. Why do I say that?
Because niggas will always be thirsty.
Well, that's two.
Or
The,
boobs.
the two things people need are food and love. That's number one. Those are two very important. And
that.
during the last recession, the big recession in the States, right?
Yeah.
They were looking at the companies and they're like, wait a minute, how come Match and these dating companies are going up
while
when
everyone
everyone's
else
going
is being
down?
down? Yeah, that
So
makes
then they
sense.
talk to a psychiatrist and he says, well, I know why. It's very simple.
Primary
When-
needs.
Not only that, when people are going through tough times, they
want
rather
someone to
go
be
through it
there.
with someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So they would rather pay to try to find someone than even buy food.
To not be alone.
I don't know, that is crazy.
And that is why dating is not only recession proof, it's just going to keep going up and up
No matter what.
no matter what.
Let's be real. The world is getting more messed up.
Yeah.
So-
And everyone is on their phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nonstop.
all
the
So
time.
you can, everything is on your
Because-
phone. The whole world is accessible.
In your personal life, how did dating help you? Like, more specifically, did you use dating sites? And
Okay,
What
first
did
of
you
all,
see?
this
Experience
man's
from it.
face. He
First of
hasn't
all,
used- yeah, never.
I was a serial online dater. You killing me?
Wait, what?
Serious?
Oh, yeah. I was on all the sites.
Wait.
and it's like you're good
Wait,
looking.
people can
you're-
hear you. People can hear you.
No, because no,
I was
honestly,
on all the
He was
No.
like, all of them.
I was
No,
Wayne,
honestly.
online dater, Candlish.
honestly, I always think of
J'aurais jamais pensé
I like
ça.
for women online, like I like whatever. I'm not gonna say I judge people, but for me it's like, okay, when I think of online dating, I don't know if it's like that for you, Mel, but like especially for women, I understand it more because women want to have kids. You know what I'm saying?
What are
And
you trying
women-
to
have
say?
time.
Men don't
Just
want to
wait.
have kids?
No, but listen to me. Let me finish.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
Women
let
want to
I'll
have
let you
kids. You know what
finish.
I mean? There's a lot of like, you hear about the deadbeat dads a lot.
They're
Let me finish.
Hi, my bad.
You
Think
know what I
about
mean?
boobs and child.
Boobs.
And like women are always wanting that love. So for me, for instance, like I have a big family and none of the men in my family seem insecure. Women are always insecure. So for you to say you were on online dating sites for years, I'm like, okay, you're good looking, you're smart, you're articulate. Why would you be online? For me, only
You know
like
why?
insecure men
Because
would
we
be online.
lazy. I mean, he lazy. I mean, they're lazy.
So why?
It's easier.
Because
Why?
it's so much easier for me.
It's easier
One, I'm
to
busy,
reach.
right? And I'm not always going to go out. And in winter,
But if you're
screw
busy,
going
why
out.
do you even
Thank
want to
you.
have a companion?
Because when I'm online, the way I was doing it is I was only messaging the women that I'm interested in, number one. So I would
But
go.
why would you even want a woman if you're so busy? Like as a man, like men to me always want to like get their career ahead and then get a woman and a family later. Like women are like, I
Well, you
want a
still got to
family.
live.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, but you can
but
live
the
without
thing
a
is,
woman easily.
You got to provide for that family. I mean,
Yeah, it seems like more work to me. Like for a man, not a woman. A woman is different, but for a man, like you were doing, like you can do everything you want without a woman. So why would you?
But still, you still got to live life, right? You want to.
there's this
To be
one thing
affectionate,
that
you
you
wanna-
kind of need a woman for. I mean, you could do it on your own,
Not
but
just the
But it's
sexual
not
part, like.
as
You
interesting.
you can have a woman to have sex with any time you want. Like you don't need to necessarily have a relationship for that.
No, of course not. But you feel like your life is empty.
Without a woman.
Well, without somebody. I mean,
well, empty. I
not
don't
not
know.
empty, but okay. Not
I mean-
put it
Claudel,
this
boobs.
way. Imagine 6 years without a companion.
Okay.
Yeah, but
How would you feel?
I'm single
Rich.
since 10 years. So.
No, but sick.
Rich. You're sick.
Yeah, but I can understand what you said.
You know,
because
it's
sometimes
companionship. It's more than just sex.
But-
It's companionship.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
never thought men wanted companionship like that.
Of course.
Wait,
I thought
let-
men just wanted sex.
I could
and-
give you. I could give
Maybe
you
a good.
I could give
a
you an
good
opinion.
home-
I could give you an opinion. For example, for me, I know my time on Earth is borrowed. You're not gonna. You don't stay on Earth forever.
Okay, but
you
still.
die,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, we're getting deep here.
So, you know what?
We're getting deep. We're getting
Claudel
deep,
does
folks.
that. Claudel does
All
that.
right.
All right.
Borrowed
So,
time.
Borrowed time. We live on borrowed time, right?
Yes.
So in order to like not be immortal, but to live throughout time, what lives throughout time? Your legacy. And in order to build a legacy, in order to live something with someone, well, you need a companion. That would be a main reason. It's to build with someone.
I don't know. I still
I mean,
feel
you
like it's
can't-
like a dude. Like it's
You
a
can't
only
do it
it's
on
a
your
male
own.
perspective. Men can have kids all over the place. The legacy. No, it's true. They can have a legacy from Canada to Jamaica
A
to
legacy,
Haiti.
a legacy.
depends
No,
what
no, 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 no,
Russia-
no, no,
But
no, no. Let me
no,
get something
and
clear. Let
it
me
just
get
keeps
no,
living.
Auntie Day. Let me get something clear. A
I don't
legacy
know.
is
I don't know
not
about
no.
that.
A legacy
Like-
is not just having a kid.
Okay.
A legacy is giving your values to that kid.
Yeah, but we're talking about a dating
values.
site. We're not talking about values. We're talking about dating.
Well,
dating is very specific to a certain type of
Yeah.
demographic and activity. Dating
Yeah.
is like going out, eating food.
But
Yeah,
even
but
though,
what- drinking,
okay,
you know
but
what I
what
mean?
comes
Dating does-
after
No, but-
dating?
For some people, nothing. That's where it
Okay,
starts.
so what's
That's
wrong
where
with
it
that?
ends.
and this is why for me dating sites are not interesting because
Why? No, no, no.
hey, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to?
Wait,
And
wait,
then
not
no, and then
all.
après
No,
ça, c'est
I don't
fini.
agree. I do
Oui,
not
après, c'est
agree. Not
fini.
all relationships that start on dating sites
No,
are just
not
for the
all,
beep,
but
beep,
I
bum,
mean
bum,
like
bum, 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 bum.
99% of them.
You decide, girl.
I'm not deciding
Yes,
because
you are
I'm deciding. This is why I'm not anymore.
This is what
on
I
that.
want. You say
But
this
me,
is what I
I'm not
want.
that
And you
with
know
it.
what's funny? Like dating
Claudel.
there used to be a stigma with online dating.
True.
Where people said
were, "Oh,
only
you're a
desperate
loser,"
people are
and
online,
ugly,
whatever.
yeah.
But now it's shifted big time.
Yeah.
Now it's
Now
almost
they-
as if you're not online dating,
You're
why
a
are you doing
loser.
it the hard way?
Yeah, yeah.
Because everyone is on their phone, everyone is busy, and Tinder gamified it with the swipe right, swipe left. The only
Yeah.
problem with swipe right, swipe left is that people are getting tired of it and bored. And this is where there's a void now because you have to see with dating, look at the history of dating. First of all, back in the 70s and 80s.
Good old time.
Right?
But it was on the phone.
No, it wasn't on the phone.
No.
It was in
No?
the newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the person knows?
Oh, yeah.
Men seeking women,
True
women
that.
seeking men. So it was all in the newspapers.
True that.
Then
On the
after
phone
the-
was the 90s.
Yes. Then after the newspapers, it came the bulletin boards.
Also.
So bulletin like chat boards, and then after like ICQ and stuff.
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Then-
I remember I see.
Then after that
Oh,
came
yeah.
the
I remember ICQ.
website,
I remember.
The-
You remember?
afterwards.
Match.com.
Match.com. Yeah.
right? And after Match.com, it was a while since there came the next
And you
thing,
knew
which was
Tinder.
No,
Plenty
Mon
of Fish.
Classier.
Oh, POF.
Because Plenty of Fish was the
Do you
first
look
one to
good?
say everything's free. That was their
to people.
call to flame,
Yeah.
claim to fame. And then after that came Tinder with the swiping. But everyone thinks Tinder's the biggest dating app. It's not.
It's not.
No, it's Badoo. Tinder has about 100 million users, but Badoo has 300 million
Wow.
worldwide. And Badoo was the first one to create the swipe.
What makes Badoo better than Tinder?
It's just global reach. Tinder is more North America, UK, Australia, more the
Okay.
English countries. Badoo crosses over Latin America. It's Russian, African.
Okay, so for
yeah.
all my international niggas,
Yo, man,
Wazoo.
it's so newfie
see
proof,
what I
man.
did there? See
I'm
what I did
still-
there? Wazoo.
I'm already there.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Wayne, so you yourself have been on online dating sites.
Yes.
And tell us, like, what was like the freakiest girl you ever met on an online dating
Or the
site?
freakiest dude. Ain't nobody judging.
Yeah, like how do
You
you,
can say
know?
it's not on
Because they
business.
talk about this. What's that term that they call when like people are
Freakiest dude.
Catfishing.
lying about who they really are? What's it called?
Catfishing.
Catfishing. Yeah. Have you
What
ever
are the
like thought you're talking to a
dangers?
girl as
What do
a
you think about
dude
it?
or
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Actually, it's funny. I was catfished once when online dating. So
Oh my God. Was his name Robert?
no.
Eric?
So the way it worked is that I was online dating one time, and then there's this picture of this hot girl, right? Whatever, and it was on Match.com.
Hot
I was on.
girl.
So then we started chatting, blah blah blah, and then I'd say a week after she started being like, okay, I'm traveling in Africa for blah blah blah, and something happened. I'm gonna come and see you. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And then something doesn't sound right here. So then it's so funny because this is actually the first time when I was very young in online dating.
okay.
So then, and this is actually good for anyone that's online dating now. Some tricks not to fall for. If you meet someone, in that case I met that person, right away the person says, look, since you're chatting with me or talking with me, I want you to close all your dating sites, all the other ones. I'm like, okay. So I was new, right? I'm like, for sure I'm going to close them because I'm talking with you. And then they go, but how do I know you closed them? I go, what do you mean? She goes, I want your username and password so I can confirm that those
What?
sites were closed. Now,
I mean, I don't even know you like that.
But
Yeah.
I was new, right? So I said, oh, for sure. Here's my username and password to guarantee I close them. She goes, okay, perfect. So then a week after, something happens. She goes away, whatever. It didn't work out. I'm trying to get into my other sites or open them up. And the username and password are changed. She's using my photos and catfishing off those sites.
You got your account
Because
stolen.
I gave her access to my accounts.
No way.
So this is a rule. If anyone asks you to close other dating sites
To show your commitment to them.
and
type
to
of thing.
show your commitment to them, and
Yeah.
that you need to give them your username and password to confirm that it's closed, I say the only thing you close is the conversation with that person.
That is crazy.
That is
For real,
That
right?
number
is
one.
nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever had any stories from other people who used social networks and stuff about like crazy things that happen? I don't know. Like I'm going to a restaurant.
Okay, I can tell you a really
crazy.
crazy story
Oh, yeah.
that I got.
Give me the juice.
So basically, for Valentine's Day, when
Oh,
I was
God.
doing Uber, every girl that got in my car, I said, "Okay, give me the skinny. Give me your worst date and make sure don't spare any details." So then I had this one girl come in and she said, "Listen, I'm going to tell you something I know you haven't heard." I said, "Listen, I've done a lot and I heard a lot, so it better be good." So she goes, "Okay." So I went on this date with this guy, and then it started off okay. And then I got this weird feeling. I go, "What do you mean weird feeling?" She goes, "I don't know. It's like woman's intuition." I go, "Okay. So what did this weird feeling tell you?" She says, "I got this feeling that the guy was a pedophile."
What?
I'm like, "Pedophile?" I go, "What the hell could this guy do to give you the feeling he's a pedophile?"
How do you do that? Like, how do you give that?
What,
feeling?
was he flirting with little kids or I
If
don't
you-
know.
I mean, other than that, what
So-
else did you do?
So then she goes, "Yeah, it was really weird." So we cut the date short. I got home and she said she was so upset that she called the RCMP and she said, "I think you should investigate this guy."
What?
So, and then she told him about him and that she thinks he's a pedophile. And usually for pedophiles, they take that very seriously. So they actually called the guy in for an interview. And then they realized that through looking at his computer that he had a storage unit. So he said, okay. So they went by to check the storage unit. When they opened the door, they found 3 old guys filming child pornography.
No way.
So this one woman on her first date broke up a Montreal child pornography ring, and it was in the
Wait a
newspaper.
minute. That was in Montreal?
That was in Montreal. Of course, it's an Uber. My jaw dropped. I said, "Yeah, I haven't heard that one before."
I hope. Holy shit.
Wow.
You're lying.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then on top of that, a week later, I picked up this other woman, and she ended up being a director. And I told her about the story,
They made
and
a
she
movie
goes,
out of it.
"She goes, oh my god, that was my idea for my next movie. Do you remember the girl's name?" I'm like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Done. I can't take this. This is too much.
No, being a Uber driver,
But
honestly.
I'm
what
out
did
of
what
words,
did she
man.
tell you that like no, what did that
I don't know what
dude
this-
tell him
I
her
have no idea. And
made
I
you
but
think he was
and
a
before I can
pedophile?
really get into it, she came to her stop.
Yeah, of course. Like
I
a
could
good
have drove.
movie.
I could have driven her around the whole friggin' Montreal just to find out more info on this.
That
That's
is
so disturbing. I don't know.
nuts.
That
Yeah.
Can you
is,
imagine
like,
if the
Yeah.
if the cops like didn't take it seriously or didn't
See?
didn't
So they did
check?
actually take it seriously. So we know at least there's some kind of hope in Montreal
Yep.
police.
Yep.
'Cause For me, honestly, Montreal police are a wrap.
And just to let you know, that took me like about 1 minute to.
Wait, you
1 minute.
you
to what?
matched with someone?
No, I didn't match. Oh, I just like signed in
Yeah, and you found other sites that are good for you.
in minute.
Yeah.
And I'm all
So wait,
like-
As an
you
online
said-
dating pro.
So you said you have a girlfriend. Did you meet your girlfriend through a dating app?
Yes, I did. I met her on 2 apps.
Oh, which
Two
two?
apps.
Oh, we don't want to
See?
talk about those two.
Oh, that's
We
that's
don't
the
wanna promote
that's the
those two.
Wazoo
It's
effect.
Wazoo.
You get more apps,
We're
man.
not talking about the apps you met her on, right? We're not
No,
going to do that.
no, actually, that's the best story. How I
Okay.
met her.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I would go on all these dating sites, and I would only email the girls I'm interested in.
Okay.
So I looked at her profile, and I emailed
Why,
her.
what made you interested in her? What was it about her?
She looked good.
Straight up.
And we had common interests.
What were the common interests you guys had?
Well,
Trick question. Say family. Just say family.
Okay, that was
No, give me the real.
that was 6 years ago. Okay,
Okay, so they're not common anymore.
but we had common interests. She liked to laugh. Blah blah blah. I'm a funny guy. So I emailed her, and then she looked at my profile on OkCupid. That's one of the sites she saw me on. She goes, "Nice profile, ciao." So I got the email from her. I'm like, "Oh, cool." She responded. So I sent her an email back, and nothing for the first week. The second week, I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" Nice profile, ciao. So then I'm on Match, and then I get this email from her saying, "Hey, you're here also."
Here, where? What do you mean?
On Match, because I was on Match.com, and she was on Match.com.
Like you guys are both like live on the website.
both.
Yeah, we're on two sites.
Two
So then
sites.
she
Okay.
emails me from Match.com. She goes, "Hey, you're here also, but you seem younger because I had a different age, a younger age." So then I looked at
Wait
her.
a minute, you fudged your age online?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yuck.
You said
Are
it
you serious?
with no
Why'd you do that?
shame.
Okay.
No
you know why?
shame.
You know why you do that? Because you have to understand how the dating sites work. So
Okay.
as you get older, right? Some of them have algorithms. Even on our site, we have an algorithm where we show matches between 5 or 10 years of your age. So as you get older, if you were looking for a girl a certain age, you have to lower your age so that
You'll fall in that bracket.
Exactly, you fall in that bracket,
Just like
and
with
it'll
your
show you
taxes.
Oh.
exactly.
Lower your revenue.
So maybe this is why for me that never works.
Maybe.
So that's something a lot of people don't know. So she was younger on Match too. So I said, "Hey, we have something in common. It seems to be the fountain of youth for both of us."
Wow.
So then after that, we started talking, and we've been together ever since.
6 years later.
6 years later.
Crazy.
So online dating does work.
It does.
does.
It does. Well, I'll tell you what. You mentioned something really interesting. I like you. Well, as a website, a dating website guru, what would be like tricks you could give to people when creating profiles, looking for profiles, or whatever, like in general? What not to do, how to avoid being catfished. I mean, if it's a prince from Africa and he's asking for money, there's something you do not get.
Well, the first thing you never do is that whenever anyone asks for money, you let them go.
Bye.
That's number one. That's
Okay.
the number one red flag that is undeniable.
You guys
You
heard-
ask for
you
money,
guys
you're
heard,
gone.
right?
No matter which way they ask for money.
No
what
matter
if they
which
say,
way.
Oh my gosh, like I'm a single father of 10.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me
Doesn't
either.
matter.
My
Okay.
kids,
What
they
are the
need to go to
tips?
school.
Okay, so one tip when you're making your profile, one, be honest.
Aww.
But that's hard coming from me since I fudged my age. But anyway,
Exactly. And you just
be honest.
told the whole story. All right, so you guys try to be as honest
that's
as
number
possible.
one.
That's what he
Be
means.
honest. Two, use a recent profile pic.
Please and thank
Don't
you.
use something 10 years ago.
So when you met your girlfriend, did you have hair? Because now you have clearly none.
I had a full afro.
I'm just having a little hard time.
No, I was bald.
I mean, I can
You're
see
bald.
it.
Bald is
Okay.
beautiful. Bald is
Bald,
beautiful.
bald is beautiful, yeah. So
Now-
she saw you the way you are right now.
Now, some big mistakes some people make, especially in the profile pictures, is one, a huge mistake is that they have profile pictures with their friends.
See?
So
And
you don't
some-
know who's who.
Not only that, sometimes the friend is better looking than the person.
So messed up.
So never have a profile picture with someone else. Only
Me, I just
yourself.
skip. When they are more than one, I skip.
Exactly.
Ciao, bye.
And two, in your profile pic, try to have a profile pic of you doing an activity you like to do.
Yeah, please, can you smile?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, for
An
real.
activity
If
you
you
like
don't
to
smile,
do.
ciao,
God
bye.
damn it.
Yeah.
Ciao,
Live,
bye.
nigga.
And try to stay away from the bikini and the swimsuit pics.
Yeah, please and thank you too.
Why? What does a bikini
Yeah,
and
yeah.
swimsuit
Tell me
pics
about
do?
the bikinis. What's
Well,
up?
usually in online dating, if you have a bikini pic or a swimsuit, that the target market you're really attracting are the hookup sites,
Okay.
because they think that you're
Oh.
not really that serious and you're just looking for a fling. That's the perception. I mean, you could be serious, but the perception is, okay, she's down.
could
Let
be
me
a
try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
see.
you gotta think of the online perception.
Huh.
So your website is not your website, but your whole app is about to launch
This September,
this September,
Yeah.
and you've been working on it for
year and a half.
a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, so this September, do we know the exact date, or we just have to?
Around mid-September, it's launching.
Okay, and
Yeah.
how do we get at it? Like, what's going
Wait,
on?
Well-
What do we tell
platforms?
Montreal?
Tell us.
Just here, if you go to datewithwazoo.com, you can have free access right now to it.
Okay.
Not too many people know the address. So anyone going to datewithwazoo.com can actually try it right now for free. No
Okay.
problem. And it's free anyways. The only time you would pay
Mellow
is for a
Mel's
match.
already on it. Like she
There you
is
go.
It's
hyped.
just been bumping.
There
I mean,
you
I've
go.
been hearing your phone. It just keeps on ringing. I mean, what's up, God? We're trying to work here, man. Damn. Jesus. Sheesh.
But you see, we're filling that void. And as more and more, see, what we do is, because getting back to Flow, when that investor said, I'm going to need $10 million to launch this app, that was like a big kick in the gut. I'm like,
Yeah.
See?
anyone hearing that would be like, okay, I'm done with dating.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Sure.
So I'm like, wait a minute, okay, this is a little hurdle. I'm going to need a little bit more time on this one to figure this one out. And then I came up with the idea, wait a sec. So what if I'm Google and I have millions of people? If I have millions of people, then launching my app is easy because I have the people.
You have the followers. You're
Exactly.
good.
And
Yeah.
then it came to, I was thinking about when I was online dating, how other friends, when they're tired of the apps they're using, they'd go to me and say, Wayne, I'm tired of this one. Where do I go? I'm like, go to this one, go to that one.
Go to the other
I'm
one.
like, okay, so maybe a lot
there
of
you
other
go.
people have the same problem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So now, but if I can create a tool where I can guide people to the sites that they need and show them a personalized list, they have instant value. So even if there's no one in my site right away, from day one, they can save time and use the right sites to increase their chances of finding the right person from day one. And that instant value is what was missing from Flow.
This is
Be-
my first match.
there we go.
Already been that.
Why does he look like Superman?
I don't know.
He looks like Superman and Clark Kent
Yeah.
at the same time with the glasses, that beard. What?
Honestly, I have never been on a dating app, and I to be very honest with you, I hope I never have to. Not because I think it's a bad thing, but just because I think like I have that perception like a dating app is like kind of like the last resort. Like if you can't find the love or your soulmate at a bar or through a common friend, it's like your only way to go. And I'm not talking bad about anybody, but I just think that it's amazing that you have this app because you were able to create an app that you're actually able to live by. Like you
Yep.
went through it all. You
Yep.
know, a lot of times we have people from the top down creating policies and laws that never lived the experiences of people
Yep.
that need to be impacted by it. But you've been on that dating app.
Yep.
You've done it. You've seen what's wrong. You've seen what's right. And now you're building your own.
Yep.
So like, I don't see why anybody would waste their time with Grindr, Ginder, whatever they're called. I don't even know what they're called. You know what I mean? Exactly. Just go to Wazoo.
That's funny.
Like,
you said
Mellow-
Gymder, and that's an app for gym people. It's funny.
It is? I just made it up right now.
Gymder. Yep.
Like Mellow Mel's on it. She already has a match. You know what I mean? And like no one's getting younger. We're all getting older. Like, get to the point. You know what I mean? I think it's amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes they say the best products come from a need you see in the marketplace.
Exactly.
And that's where
Yeah,
Wazoo
for
came
sure.
from. It's from a need I identified.
Of course.
And I've been an online dater for years, and I know the void because from Tinder gamified online dating. Tinder
Yeah.
took it to the
Yeah,
next level.
Yeah.
But Tinder launched in 2014. From 2014 to now, there is no progression, no
Are you
evolution.
serious?
At all. No,
No.
it's the same.
Everything's
I mean,
the same.
the
It's all
interface will
swipe.
change,
It's all
but
niches, but there's
But
no.
they found some new ways to make money with Tinder.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially
They have a
accounts.
subscription service.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people paying.
a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
People
Not
say
really
You have
benefiting from
unlimited swipes.
unlimited
That mean
swiping,
they
exactly.
learn to control you.
because people don't understand the average online dater spends $237 a year online dating.
What?
That's
Yeah.
not a lot.
That's
That's
the
not a lot.
average.
It's a whole year. I mean,
I think people spend more on
Yeah,
coffee than they do on that.
yeah, like me, I'm a people person, so this is why I'm not
Yeah.
liking apps too, like dating
Yeah.
site and
Yeah, for
everything.
sure.
like
Yeah.
a good old
So
way.
the things that is interesting with that apps for me,
Uh-huh.
it's really like sometimes you met people, but you're not sure about like giving your number. So
Yep.
now I'm going to maybe can join like.
Well, that's
all
why
the
Wazoo's
best
amazing.
sites.
You can
Yeah.
stay
Exactly.
anonymous. It's
Exactly.
amazing. Yeah, for
Exactly.
Well, Wayne, you being like the super guru of relationships, I'd like to know.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. For you,
Yeah.
with such knowledge,
Uh-oh.
such wisdom,
Where's my cane?
So I don't know.
Am I like the Moses of dating here? What's going on?
Kinda. We will follow you. divide the waters. Like, I'd like to know, in your opinion, for you, for a relationship to truly work, what's most important?
For a relationship to truly work,
Yes, sir. What's most important?
the person you're with has to eventually be your best friend.
Honestly.
That is the key.
Dating.
What do
you
you
guys?
mean by
the
best
key.
friend though? Because like, what do you mean
Because-
exactly, specifically
because-
about best friend?
A best friend, especially in a relationship, is someone you can be in the car, have nothing to say, be silent for an hour,
And we still good.
and you're still good. You don't feel awkward. You don't feel
good.
anything.
We
Someone
good.
that has your back.
Yeah.
Someone that no matter who you're with or what you're with, you're always having a good time. And when you fight and when you get into a disagreement, you always work it out.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
wanna
the best
sit
friend.
that on your head.
Yeah.
Get up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you get to that phase, you're done. You're good.
So you feel like the person that you're with right now, you have that.
Yeah, it's like an extension of yourself almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You're both vibing together.
I like
I like
that.
that. You like it, right? We had one rule.
Don't bang on the table.
Don't bang on the
Don't
table. Yeah,
That rule is gone.
I'm sorry, Eric. It's more work for Eric. I'm sorry,
about it.
Eric,
Wow,
I'm sorry.
Wayne.
I love you, but I'm sorry.
Wait, we'll never be able to thank you enough for your wisdom, for all these advice. So people, don't get catfish. Don't give
Don't
money.
get catfish.
Don't give your password.
Sign
Don't
up to Wazoo. It's what's up.
And don't send
Wazoo.
money.
And don't
Don't
send money.
send money. Exactly.
So, Wayne, keep that up. Keep that up. Work
Thank
for
you.
yourself.
Where can we catch you?
someone.
What's the
And tell us,
release date
yes.
for the app? What's going on?
Tell us. Where can we
Well,
catch you?
if
Everything
you're
about
around town, you're going to see our posters all around town. There's going to be saying tired of Tinder, tired of Grinder. We're
love
putting
that. I
posters
love it. I
posters
love it.
all around the campus. We're going to be putting flyers on the cars, and then we're going to start doing social media. And anyone, actually, this is good. I'm looking for influencers. So if anyone that wants to join or help us out,
You already
Mellow
matched
Mel.
with Superman,
there we go.
goddammit.
We're looking
And
for
podcast.
influencers.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Join the team and help us grow, and we're going
But
to make
I'm
this
a
all the
positive
way.
influencer, so
There we go.
Don't stop.
Don't
Mel,
stop.
Don't stop.
never.
Never.
Never,
Freak.
ever.
Just like this goddamn podcast. The place where we keep on having conversations.
Day and night.
Hey, wait a minute.
There we go. Day
and night.
and day and night.
Don't
And
bang on
it's
the
a
table
wrap.
one day.